Alright, so now we're moving into chapter 18. We're going to be dealing with the transfer of title and a risk in sales contracts. Now, what does all this mean? Well, obviously we need to talk about a few things before we can really get into the meat of this. First off, we have to talk about title, okay? Now, we're not talking about, prize fight title. We're not talking about Rocky Balboa. We're talking about ownership, all right? Evidence of ownership, all right? So, title is the power to control and physical possession. So, do you have title to your car? How do you show title to your car? Well, it's that piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, you'll see a lien if someone, has an interest in that car. You pay, the finances on it every month. But title is something that shows you have owned the property. A deed to property shows that you have ownership on that piece of property. Okay? Now, let me ask you a question. If you damage your car, who has to fix it? Well, you do. Okay? If you are renting a house, who fixes it? Ooh, the owner. Why? Because they have title to it. And the contract says, generally, that the owner, person that has title, will fix the repairs as they come up on the house. However, if someone else damages your property, who has to fix it? Well, if someone rear-ends your car, who fixes it? Whoever hit you, right? So all this goes down to is who has title. Okay? Now, potential problems in a sales transaction. Now we're talking about the purchase and sale of goods. Brooms, mops, cars, whatever. All this comes under the Uniform Commercial Code. Okay? We're talking about sales. Okay? Whenever the parties do not specify their intention in a sales contract, rules on ownership, insurance, and damage to goods are specified in this chapter are what applies. Okay, so the rules that we go over in this class are the general rules. Now, if the contract says otherwise, then that's how it applies. Now, ownership. When is ownership transferred? All right. If I sell you a TV, when do you actually own the TV? Insurable interest. When is there an insurable interest? If I'm selling you that TV, when do you want to have insurance on it? Or, to make it a little easier, when you own a car. If you go over to a car dealership and buy a car, when do you need to have that car insured? Risk of loss. Who bears the risk of loss? If you order something at Amazon.com and it's shipped to your house, okay? And in the course of the shipment, the item is destroyed. Do you still have to pay for it? Or does Amazon have to pay for it? Or, better yet, does the carrier have to pay for it? When does the risk of loss shift? All of these things are very important when you're talking about a sales contract. Now, classifications in a sales transaction. Nature of goods. Okay? What are the goods? You have existing goods, identified goods, or future goods. Existing goods. Okay? If you are going to purchase my car, right? That's an existing good, right? Or an identified good. You're going to purchase, X number of gallons of gas. Okay? You've identified what gas you want. Or future goods. You're going to purchase the corn that I'm growing out of my cornfields. Okay? You have to. This is also an important aspect when considering the contract. Terms of the transaction. Seller performs when the goods are shipped to the buyer. Seller performs when the goods are shipped to the buyer. So, if I sell you something, I have performed whenever I put them into the shipping. Okay? Now, what else? There could be a document that represents the goods. A warehouse receipt or a bill of lading. Okay? This will be a piece of paper that represents the goods. Okay? So I ship to your office a piece of paper that says, hey, you own these goods. but those goods are actually in my warehouse. But that's going to be documentation that you actually own the goods. That's going to show title.